In fact, let's start off with just a few minutes quiet. So perhaps just taking a slightly deeper breath, a deeper breath or two than you usually would. This just helps to... Hello, James. Thanks for sharing. Just taking a deeper breath just allows us to gain a sense of balance, really. And then just feel the breath. Thanks for sharing, Mada, Nigel. Nowhere to go. Let's have 25-30 minutes with nowhere to go, nothing to achieve. Any sounds happening, just leave them alone. Any bodily sensations, just leave them alone. I'm just going to talk a little while and then we're going to have a longer meditation. But you can do this, carry on with your eyes closed if you wish, or yeah. I know some of you have shared it. If you don't mind sharing this, guys, so people can hop on if they want to. Yeah, so we're a very restless culture. We're a very restless society. Maybe we are a restless race. Animals are not restless in the same way that humans are. And this restlessness is, and this is just one way of looking at it, it's kind of, let me put it another way. Life promises us something. You could say the thought promises us something. So, like sometimes there are TV episodes of in a TV series, and they might give you a clip of the next one. I give you some highlights, some interest, some intriguing themes, or something happens, a car chase, and so they keep you locked into the next one. Oh yeah, oh remember that, and so your attention goes from here to the next one. Well, thought does that. It keeps dangling something. It promises us something. I will sort your life out for you if you just follow me. Just follow me, and your life will be okay. All will be well. And what it does, it keeps us restless because we're always looking for this something. Because those TV programs we talked about just a moment ago, uh, they're full of drama, and we love drama. Only those on the TV, we are not the center of them, but we are the center of our own drama. Something is going to heal my life. Something is going to just make my life work. Something at some point it's all going to make sense and there'll be an epiphany and all will be well. It doesn't work like that. This is it. This is your life. This is my life now. This is it. Everything else is just thought. The thought, thinking is useful. It's a useful instrument. But these promises are never ever kept. And then people often ask me, well, you have to think, don't we? Of course, we can't help but think. Of course we do. And I just want to explain what I mean by this, by what I mean by using the mind. This is an instrument. It's a pen. It's an instrument. It's a tool. Yeah. And you click it on and you write with it. It's good for writing. It's useful for something. The best thing in the world for writing a letter with. Yeah. Now, when you finish writing, yours sincerely, Fred, you click it and you put it down to rest until the next time you need it. It's a tool that you use occasionally for a purpose. Hello, Rosella, Chris, guys. Now, the thinking mind is a tool. It's an instrument. But it's like we use it for something. It's like it's like we use the pen for writing, and then it's almost like the mind won't click. It won't do that. It won't click off and go to rest. It just carries on writing. It just carries on thinking, promising or criticizing or condemning or complaining, or just, if it's not got anything constructive at all to say, it just natters away useless chatter. It's just like the pen, writing. It's exhausting. The mind is a brilliant tool, same as the pen or a hammer, a screwdriver. It's a tool. But what happens is, or what has happened is, we've forgotten how to use it, or we've not been shown how to use it properly, because we think that, or we believe that, if I can only think the right thought, if I can only work something out, that my life will somehow be magic. Magic will happen. It won't. It's just an instrument. Some of the thoughts are useful. A lot of them are useless. And so all our attention goes on to the thinking mind, because we think that's where the answer is. The answer's in thinking the right thoughts, and also thought project us into the future. We hope that the future is going to be And so the reason we have a busy mind is because we're trying to work out, make sure that the future is what we want it to be. It's that promise, making sure that this promise manifests itself. We manifest it. And it just keeps us restless. And it's like we've not taught ourselves, or the mind, how to be content. The mind doesn't know contentment. It doesn't know how to rest. So we're always ill at ease. Thinking this, yeah, what'd she say? She shouldn't have said that. Why? How dare she? He's the right one. What a wally! Yeah, and we're aware. We talk to ourselves. And when we're lost in this, what do we lose? I don't mean using it as a tool. That's fine. When we're lost in it, what do we lose? You lose your life. What do I mean? Well, what is life, as it were? It's an experience of being alive. And how do we experience being alive? Through the senses: hearing, seeing, smelling, feeling, or touching. And tasting. And that is what being alive is. But when we're lost in this one, in this, what we call the sixth sense, as it were, we lose it. We lose connection with life. We're in a made up world. And this promise that gets dangled. We hope that somehow we'll find peace with this promise. Because that's what we want if we're honest. It's peace or happiness or contentment. And so what we're learning to do is to move from a life of drama about me. Who's at the center of the show? Me. Move from a life of drama to a life of no drama. Now that sounds awful, doesn't it? A life of no drama. I do want that. I want the drama. I want the intrigue and the excitement and the hoping and the disappointment and all that. When peacefulness is actually right here now. It's the only place it can be. It's here. And so our meditation practice, our mindfulness, what it's concerned with is seeing into the nature of thought. Seeing that it's a useful tool, but that's all it is. There's a whole life, a whole world to be discovered right here. Hearing, smelling, tasting. We come alive. The more time we spend here, less in the world of overthinking, which is the art of creating problems which don't exist, by the way. Drama is fascinating. Yeah. So we lose fascination. After a time, we lose fascination with thought. We start to realize that this never actually works out this way. We grow up. That's what I'm a Buddhist, and that's what the Buddhists say. Grow up. This is just a toy. All this chatter, it's a decoy. Come back to real life. We, time and time again, we let go of our fascination with thoughts. Thank you. And we refuse it. We refuse, no, thank you. And we come back and we feel the breath. Quite often, people, when they start a meditation practice, they come along to a course or a retreat or whatever, they begin their journey. They believe they're going to gain something, build up a whole new me. I'm going to become something. It's the other way around. We lose something. We shed all that's unnecessary, all these views, all these opinions, all these judgments, all these criticisms, all these beliefs. And where do we end up? Right here, where we've been all the time, but never noticed. So meditation is a process of shedding. shedding away all that's unnecessary, all that creates suffering, all that creates conflict and distress and dis-ease, we fall into peacefulness. We fall into contentment. We don't even create contentment. We just fall into it. We let go of the agitation, the promise. it's that promise. Oh, yes. Ah, yes. And it's really seductive, is this world, the thought-made world. Because anything can happen. When I win the lottery, and we're away. But we live in that imaginary world. The imagination can also create lightness, the promise, the good things. It can also create the dark. So we bounce between hope and fear, and that's where we live. We fluctuate between them, hoping for one thing and fearing the other, hoping for what we want, fearing what we don't want. And one of my teachers, Charlotte Jokovic, said a lot of people spend their lives like that and then they die. They miss it. They miss their life. And that's all this is about, waking up to life. That's what it is. And so our practice is always very simple. And we're going to do some now. So please, if you don't mind, guys, just share it out before we have a meditation. A few more might join us. And share it on your timeline. So we're going to spend a few minutes coming into the body, into the heart. Because when we come into the heart, when we come into the body, we soften a little. It's a relief. Only there's no drama there. So it's like, whoop, let's get into the drama. Oh, yes. Poor me. Nobody understands my life. Great actors. They're all so seriously. Thank you, Anne, for sharing. Thanks, guys. So just let's spend a few moments, few minutes, meditation, contemplation, whatever you want to call it. Just sense your hands resting in your lap. And just feeling the breath. And take your attention to your heart center. Just feel your heart center. You may notice a very subtle softening. And then we notice the promises, the thinking. And we refuse. We just say thinking and return back to the heart. Nothing to work out. Nothing to change. Just bring your attention into the body. Feel your heart center. You can put your hand there if you wish. And off we go into our dream world. And we just refuse to be drawn in. And we come back to the body, to the heart. Maybe even to sounds. Wake up. Wake up to your real life. Off we go again. Doesn't take long before we want to go on our travels. And we return back home. And just notice that urge to be in the drama. And then come back to no drama. Feelings of the heart, of the body, the breath. So life is happening, hearing is happening, feeling is happening, the sense of smell, taste, seeing, all just happening. So we have an experience. We tend to want to think about a different experience. Refuse it and come back. Doesn't matter what the promise is. So carry on with your eyes closed for a while. I'm just going to round up. So do keep your practice simple. There's nothing needs to be worked out. There's nothing needs to be understood. It's not about understanding. We come back to our direct experience of the body, the senses. Because what happens then is it's like a portal into something else. And that something else is a kind of intuitive awareness. So whilst we're focused on the promises, the hopes and the fears, the busyness of the head, we miss out on our own deeper wisdom or intuitive wisdom, intuitive awareness, whatever we want to call it, which is speaking to us every moment. It's our natural intelligence. And when we trust in that, what happens is the mind begins to quieten down, because it's like having a good parent. A child trusts a good parent. It can be confident, it can be quiet, it can be confident, it feels safe. But we've lost touch with this, so we don't feel safe. So we have to overthink in order to try and make everything. So that's why we come back to the body. Well, one reason we come back to the body, it's a portal. The body's always in the present, it's always here, it's always still, but it's a portal to open to our own innate wisdom, intuition. And that's the greatest blessing there is, because everything quietens, everything, all this peace we were trying to get through, that busyness, just all a complete and utter dream. It's not going to happen. It never happens. It's already here. It's behind, as it were. So do go to that page on the website, guys. I've sent you the link. They're free. There are free meditations and talks there. And each Facebook Live gets put on there. So do share it with your family and friends if you would. And they're all free on there. So thank you. I shall see you on Friday. Or you'll see me on Friday. And yeah. So thanks for coming. Have a good